Good morning, how are you? Chris, HS Physical Therapy Chiropractic, as well as Central Motion Spine and Sport.
Hey guys, Jake here.
Along with our man Jake. So we had a specific technique and we wanted to share this with you today. You hear about it, what is it, this dry needling thing? What's it good for? What does it feel like? Is it going to hurt? Am I going to have any benefit from it? And that's just a certain technique, but really the important part of here is, you have pain, right? There's fear, there's uncertainty. I want to get back to doing things. I want more energy. I want to get back to having all of the relationships in my life with my spouse, my kids. I don't want to have to worry about this neck or back pain that I'm dealing with. So how do we get from that point to the point where you feel fully confident, no pain, clarity, where you feel like I know what to do, I know what not to do, and I'm getting to this point here is we need a plan, and what we can do here is take your hand and bring you across the bridge and get you from point A to point B. This is just one of the ways that we would do that. It's important it's helpful for certain things.
Yeah.
Or what do you use the dry needling for?
Dry needling, it's good soft tissue technique, meaning like muscles, ligaments, tendons. That's mostly what we use it for. But it's a tool we use to increase range of motion, decrease pain, and then get someone back to doing a more active type of care. So like rehab or different movements that they want to do. So it's effective for just general muscle and joint pain, stiffness. We can use it for headaches.
Okay.
Ankle sprains is a good thing that we can use it for, just to kind of decrease that inflammation.
Yeah.
So it's a good all-around tool for pretty much any muscle and joint disorder. We don't use it much in the mid-back, just because of the lung field there. We don't want to mess around with that.
Yeah.
But other than that, like extremities and general back issues, we can help a lot with using the dry needling.
All right, so we know kind of what body parts we use it on. I mean, it's very common to use in some of the bigger, bulkier muscles in the low back. Trap shoulder, leg, foot, ankle, like Jake had said. So what would I feel like during the procedure? What should I kind of expect?
Yep.
And then what do I feel or expect as a result afterwards?
Yeah, so a lot of the time, here's the needle. I'll kind of zoom in here. I don't even know if you can see it. It's super, super thin, very tiny. So when we put that in, whatever area we're working on, you might feel a very slight pinch. Most people feel nothing at all, and you don't even know that it's in there. Then we'll usually let it set for,
real small.
Yeah, real tiny.
Like don't think like needles like, big gauge
No,
needles for shots. They're not
so
putting any
thin.
medicine through it. It's just really, would you consider it more like an acupuncture type?
Yeah, so it actually is an acupuncture.
Okay.
Yeah,
so very, very thin. Yeah.
So we'll stick that in the area. You might, like I said, you might feel that quick pinch, but then it usually goes away. And then you typically don't feel anything as we'll let it sit in there, 5-10 minutes, and you pretty much won't feel anything as long as we have it in there. Sometimes we will get like a muscle twitch. So if I were to stick it in the muscle, you'll get a quick twitch and then it'll relax. And that's a good sign because that shows that we're creating a relaxation effect in the muscle, basically.
Because you're kind of looking for those spots that have some, I'm going to call it like a trigger point. Yeah, trigger point, hypertonic area. So hyper just means like too much, and tonicity or tonic would be like tension, right? So you're like, ooh, that's hard. It's not moving well. It's not. Muscles should be, when you push on them, when you stretch them, they should be soft and and pliable and movable. And so we're looking for those spots that are possible or common pain producers or problem causers. And so by getting that needle in there, it's essentially trying to, tell me if this is the right thought process, we're trying to kind of break through some of those adhesions, kind of move it around, or maybe I think we're going to try a little bit of electricity through it to kind of like calm those tight hypertonic muscles and fascia and tissues down to just relax and let things move a little easier.
Yep, you got it. So afterwards, you're going to feel you should feel almost immediate relief. You should feel less tense in the area. You might have decreased pain. And you should be able to move a little bit better too, depending on what area we're needling. But usually the benefits are pretty quick, and then we always like to follow that up with active therapies.
That's my next question.
Yeah.
Is dry needling or this process, is it good? Is it enough? Is it sufficient all on its own?
Right.
Yeah.
So in some cases, but in most of the time, this is a passive therapy, meaning you're not creating long-term changes in the tissue.
Yep.
So the only way to do that is to load it with weights, with movement, with changing the stress we put on the joints or on the muscle. That's the only way we're going to make long-term changes. But this is a good adjunct to reduce pain and give range of motion to be able to do those activities.
Yeah, if you can't get to certain, let's just say Jake wants to do certain, chiropractic techniques, manipulations, mobilizations, there's certain things we want to work on in some tissue, right? If I can't get there because it's just too tight and painful, the benefit is that we can use this. Okay, now I feel like less tension, I feel better.
Yep.
Now we go on top of that and we add to it some of the techniques to make further or more motion or repeated movements or exercises to make long-standing actual changes to the tissue. So yeah, I think you answered that before I even asked the question, but it's important to use it not necessarily as a standalone treatment.
Exactly.
It's in conjunction, in combination with what we do and teaching you how to move at home, and all these things come into play to help move you across the bridge to get you from where you're at now, which is not where you want to be. It's scared and painful and not knowing what to do, to fully you're feeling fully confident, like we talked about at the beginning of the video.
Exactly.
So let's
demonstrate it.
Yeah.
So we're going to demonstrate some needling here. We're going to needle his upper trapezius muscle that kind of runs from the base of the neck and it goes down to like the mid-thoracic spine and kind of over the shoulder blade here. So a lot of people hold tension up in this area, which there's already a nice little spot right there. So I'll demonstrate what we do here.
Whoa, okay. Guess we found some spot that I didn't realize were painful.
So here's the needle. If you guys can even see it, it's so tiny. Right in there, you can kind of see it.
That camera moved all right?
Yep. Okay. So I'm basically just going to find that area where he's nice and tense here, which there's a good, you might even be able to see my finger rolling over it. So I'm going to pinch this area here. I'm going to grab the needle and I'm just going to insert it into the muscle belly. And then I'm going to kind of sink it in.
And I felt nothing, by the way, on that one. Other than Jake pinching, which hurt, I didn't feel the insertion of the needle at all.
So we'll let that one sit here.
That kind of helps too when you have, by pinching, you get that, there's already that there's already that pressure.
Yeah. And I like to do that just to get the muscle belly so we're not going through a whole bunch of loose skin. So let's insert this in here. Good.
That one I could feel some sensation of movement of some sensation, but it was not painful.
Good. Okay, and we'll come up a little bit higher in the belly here. There's a nice little spot too. Dang, Chris, what have you been doing?
They hurt. Ow.
Did you do some overhead press today or something?
I did a lot of shoulders and.
Oh yeah, you did. Good. We get one more in you, and then we'll add some electric here.
A slight twinge on that one, like a little bit of a.
Okay. So now we're going to hook him up to E-stim. We can hook those up right to the needles.
Good stuff. So why would we want to add the electrical stimulation to the needles?
So the research shows that adding the E-stim to these, I'm going to feed this around you actually, just so it holds. Yep. Adding the E-stim to the needles results in larger production of opioids produced by the body, which are pain relieving chemicals. Mm-hmm. So you get more of a pain relieving effect.
The good stuff.
The good stuff.
The dopamine.
So Chris, you're gonna feel that turn on. Let me know when you start to feel a little twinge here. Doing okay?
Yep. Actually feel it in my elbow a bit.
Okay.
Going. Now it's pulsing a little bit.
Okay.
Keep going.
Doing okay there? Let me know when that gets too intense.
What? Right about there.
Okay.
So it's kind of a bit of a sting.
So we'll set that up there. Yep.
Okay.
Good. So this will also create a little bit of a contraction in the muscle, which basically creates a fatiguing effect in that area that's irritated or hypertonic. So that's a good way.
Facilitate to calm that.
Yeah, that's a good way to release that tension.
Overactive tissue down. This won't calm down.
So,
it's a bit of a pulsing sting.
Yeah, that's exactly what you should feel.
Okay.
It shouldn't be sharp. It shouldn't be shooting anywhere. It should just be pretty much local right between these two areas here.
It's actually Feels very local, like it's no bigger than maybe a dime.
Okay, good.
Like it's just right, hitting right like in a single spot. Is it moving a little bit? Kind of thumping?
Not a whole lot, but if I turned it up, I'm sure we could get it moving.
Well, let's see it moving, yeah.
I don't want to turn it up too much though. There you go.
There we
Doing
go.
okay with that intensity?
Yes, it's all for science.
All for science.
For the people.
We'll bring that in there. Show that little twitch.
I can actually feel that one all the way up to the back there.
Yeah,
too.
that's up where that trap attaches, so that makes sense. There you can see the twitch going pretty good.
Boom, 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 boom.
Chris, how's it feel?
It's a little bit more, stingy, but yeah, anything for the people.
Okay. Set that back up. Now, usually we let this sit for 8 minutes-ish, but I don't think you want to sit here and just watch this twitch for 8 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and shut this off, Chris.
We got the base. Yep, we got the idea.
Okay, take these clips off you. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and pull these needles here.
Okay.
Good.
Don't feel any of that.
You shouldn't feel much as these come out.
Yeah. Cool down, I did.
Now, if you've never been needled before, you might experience a little bit of soreness the day after, which isn't a big deal. You can just put some ice on it. But most people don't report any soreness or anything after. They feel pretty good.
Yeah, those last two, I felt a little bit of something coming out.
Okay. All right, you're clear of needles there, sir.
All right. So that's what it looks like. I'll just get on you here a little bit. So that's kind of what it looks like. What else would you say? I think we covered the majority of it. We want to use this technique when calming down some hypertonic or overly activated. They're just not calming down. Some trigger points is a good way to talk about it as far as some trigger point release type thing.
Yep.
But it's we use it in conjunction with other modalities and therapies and things. That's why we do that. So we get kind of a combination effect of stuff. Put that up there. We go. So it's just something we would use to help facilitate
Healing.
the treatment, the healing, and where we want to get you to go.
Yep.
That's and help you achieve the goals and the success and the solution that you're after. I mean, the solution is not found in each individual technique. It's found in the combination and us kind of figuring out what you need. Because some people do well with this. Some it may not be for others, but if you really do well with it, obviously we're going to use more of that along with some other specific techniques. So.
One of the many tools in the toolbox.
Thank you very much. For those if anything else that you have questions on, please let us know. Subscribe to the channel. Follow us on our social media platforms. The Essential Motion Spine and Sport page on Facebook. All those kind of things.
Like, comment, share.
Yes.